Individuals and businesses aren't the only entities that are making more environmentally sound decisions and changes these days. Government is doing the same thing as well. We are in what will eventually be the new offices for the Allen County Assessor, where the renovation work is continuing, and this is emblematic of some of the changes that are taking place here in Allen County government. And with us right now is Dan Freck, who's the superintendent of building and grounds maintenance for the county, and he's been involved in making these changes. And Dan, tell us about a few of the things that you're doing in these offices that you're renovating now that will make them more energy efficient.
Sure. Part of this project here was the remonstrance deal where they put the townships along in with the assessors. We took this department here, went through and renovated it completely. We upgraded all our light fixtures to the electronic ballast, and then we changed the bulb wattage from the 32s down to the 25s. And we also encumbered the idea of switching all the light fixtures now, even though they're on a night light scheduling. We have switches also to where they can exit these areas, and then the cleaning crew can come in later at night, turn them back on, do their cleaning, and then shut them back off, and then the override will take over later on tonight. Part of this deal also is that, as you see around the window and the outer edge, we ran a separate lighting circuit strictly for daylight sensor control. If during the summer months to where we see a significant lot of daylight, the sensor itself will override, shut some of these lights down, and still keep the same aluminum light output for the workers.
It was kind of interesting. You were telling me that these, what you put in previously were, I think, 32-watt fluorescent bulbs. Yes. You've gone to 25-watt, but even though it's less wattage, you're actually getting more light.
Right. Technically, the way everything is progressing over the years, the technology changes 2 to 3 years, and it always is getting better. With that comes better life expectancy out of our bulbs. The pricing will eventually come around to where we see a lot of energy savings.
You're actually even having to put in fewer of the light fixtures because of the extra illumination you're getting from the lights.
Right. With the 32-watt, we normally use a 8-foot square pattern to give our workers the lighting that we felt that they needed. With the 25-watters, we're allowed to extend that footage even greater and still give them the proper lighting that they need for office concept.
Talk a little bit about the motion sensing sensors that you'll have, not only here but in several of the other offices. I know in like kitchenette areas, bathrooms, etc. Those turn the lights on and off, I guess, based on whether anyone comes in or not.
That is also true. With that sensor, we call it a motion sensor, but it also has infrared. Also, we went to the extra length to provide them into small conference areas, break rooms, restrooms. Over the weekends, usually at night, individuals do have a tendency, like a lot of us do at home, leave some lights on. With this, it'll sense a time. We're allowed to adjust that time, and with that we can do that override and then shut those lights off, which will still give us more energy savings.
And the light detection devices that you mentioned over on the windows in this particular office, I know you were talking about installing near the skylight where the escalators, and in several other areas where you get a lot of the natural light that can come through.
Correct. That does the same thing. Those will be a daylight sensor, which will do exactly that. Based on the amount of circuits that we do have out there, we might be able to, or have to maybe put 1 or 2 sensors in, but basically around the skylight it will work the same as perimeter lighting, that once we achieve the amount of lighting that we actually need, all those recesses will in fact shut themselves down, and we still keep the same amount of light that we need, but we're using more of our daylights to accomplish that.
And you sort of touched on this. Obviously, it's important for government to set the standard for others and become more environmentally conscious. But let's face it, there's an economic benefit to this too.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of economic development, and this wasn't something that we just started last year. Allen County government, even with our roofing and everything else, we've taken the approach to more energy savings, more insulation factors. We don't do the black roofs anymore. We do the lighter color roofs. We do better insulation factors. We've done our window sills, weatherproofing, all of that. It does take time to do that, and it does seem that from time to time, once we achieve a certain goal, the technology comes forward, and then we have to be more innovative on that. But our motors on our big high chill pumps, our big air handler unit motors, all of those we got on frequency drives now, and we're just now implementing night cycling for cooler. A lot of our buildings we have to make sure we don't lose that building due to temperature control. So we do some night setbacks. We are limited to what we can do, but everything that we have done, I seem to think it's always been in a good, positive way. So,
well, it's good to hear Allen County is going in that green direction. Keep up the good work.
We'll continue to do. The more we get to learn, and the more that's out there, the more we will do for everybody.
Thanks, Dan. We appreciate it, and thanks for joining us on this edition of County Line. We hope to see you next time.